In a crisis, the most dangerous enemy is not the one you see coming. It's not the financial collapse. It's not the end of the relationship. The most dangerous enemy is the one you never thought you'd have to fight. The person standing next to you. The one you trusted completely. Every man is told he needs a shield wall. A tribe. A circle of people who will have his back when the world comes to break him. And for most of our lives, that shield wall is never truly tested. It's easy to stand shoulder to shoulder when there's no real enemy. But a crisis is a crucible. It doesn't just test you. It tests every single person in your ranks. And the brutal truth that most men are not prepared for is this. The shield wall you thought you had is often just an illusion. Most of our closest relationships are built on a foundation of proximity and convenience, not shared character and conviction. They are alliances for peacetime. When the real war begins, when your life collapses, those people are often not equipped to hold the line. They have their own wars to fight, their own demons to battle, their own character flaws to confront. And in the face of your overwhelming crisis, they will, almost without fail, break. Not because they are evil, but because they are weak. And their failure will feel more personal, more painful, and more destructive than any external enemy you will ever face. I learned this in the absolute depths of my own poly crisis. I was in a multi-front war. My relationship had been annihilated. My business was on fire. My mom was fighting cancer. I was brought to my knees. And I had two people who I believed were my shield wall. One was a man I called my brother. The other, a woman I trusted implicitly. They were my inner circle. And in my darkest hour, they vanished. Caught up in the chaos of their own affair, they chose their secrets over my survival. The man who was my partner in a dream project, the woman who was a confidant, they just disappeared. No call, but a text saying I was too needy. They were ghosts when I needed soldiers. The betrayal was a separate, more insidious kind of hell. The enemy attacks for one thing. The silence from my own people was another. It taught me the most brutal lesson of rock bottom. The loneliest place in the world is not on the floor by yourself. It's on the floor surrounded by the ghosts of the people who were supposed to be there with you. Now, the lesson here is not to never trust again. The lesson is that you have been trusting the wrong people. The lesson is one of radical accountability. You do not get the inner circle you want. You get the inner circle you are. Before you can build a circle of lions, you must first become a lion yourself. You must become so solid, so rooted in your own integrity and your own mission that you are no longer dependent on a weak and untested shield wall. You must become your own shield. This is the principle of forging your own shield. This isn't a mindset. It's a protocol. It is a process of systematic rebuilding rooted in the science of human performance. It starts with the unbreakable promise, the daily act of keeping your word to yourself. Each kept promise is another layer of steel. Each workout is another rivet. You build a man who is so internally validated, so secure in his own integrity, that the approval or disapproval of others becomes irrelevant. You build a man who can stand alone in the breach if he must. And a funny thing happens when you do that. The lions, the real warriors, they start to find you because they recognize one of their own. This isn't an easy path. It's a lonely one at first. It requires you to look at your own ranks and conduct a ruthless integrity audit. So let me be clear. I am not a therapist who can help you process the pain of betrayal. I am an interventionist who will give you the protocol to force yourself into a man who is no longer defined by it. This is the work. If your shield wall is broken, if you are standing in the middle of your own war completely alone, and you are ready to stop waiting for for reinforcements and start forging yourself into the weapon you were created to be, then I invite you to apply for a resurrection strategy call. This is not a sales call. It is a tactical briefing. We will diagnose the weak points in your armor, and we will lay out the first steps of the protocol to reforge your life. Go to coachcoos.com and click apply. Stop looking for a brotherhood. Start building the man a real brotherhood would die to have in their ranks. That's where your power is.